Quick note before I start the video. So the Shatter Me series is one of these series that you should go into without knowing anything. So if you want to have the full experience and enjoy this series to its fullest, my advice and also Carmen's advice would be to go into it without knowing anything about it. Which means do not watch this video. Even the spoiler-free part contains spoilers if you want to get the whole entire experience. The series is gorgeous. Definitely go and read it all in one go, but do keep the novellas for the end because they might spoil you the second and the third book. For those of you who want to know what the series is about, do watch the first part, feel free. And for those of you who want to know what Carmen and I think about the series, you can just watch the whole video. So that was that from Future Me, and now have fun watching Carmen and me discuss the series in a very unprofessional way. Hello, Earthlings! So today I finally got Carmen with me, and we're gonna talk the Shatter Me series. We will start off by talking a bit about the series in general and try to keep that spoiler free. And then in the second part of this video, we're gonna talk all spoilers and everything and up until the last book and stuff. So, do you want to tell us what this story thingy is about? Because you read it last.
This series is a dystopian YA trilogy.
Actually,
with two novellas.
In this world, the world itself is pretty effed up. For instance, the sky is the wrong color, there are no birds left, and the earth is basically dying. The story starts where Juliet is imprisoned by the regime that is...
The re-establishment.
Right. The re-establishment, the regime that's in power. At the beginning of the story, she's in this cell and then she gets a roommate. And then from there we go. It has a bit of overthrowing government in it, but it's not like Katniss. I call Hunger Games Katniss now.
It's more about the relationships. And I'll also compare it to an X-Men origin story.
Which I don't know.
Because she develops her powers and learns to control them.
The writing style is really good. It's kind of fragmented, and she also uses like the style to like cross out stuff. You can really see that Juliet is trying to think positive because she says I'm a monster and crosses it out and I have a gift. Yeah, something like that.
Sometimes the writing is just all over the place.
Yes.
I think for a first book from an author, that's something
marvelous.
Marvelous.
You have a love triangle situation in here, but it is very well written and it's easy to follow. It was really intense and it's really, really good. I got spoiled for the love triangle bit, so that took away a little bit of the fun because I knew who she would end up with.
I read the books before and I didn't know anything about them. I didn't even read the description, I just read them. And I think that's like the best idea.
So I think now is the point where we gotta say so spoiler and we're just gonna discuss everything. So spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Go and watch something else.
And come back to this video
after you read the series. Well, let's start with the obvious discussion. Warner. Everyone loves Warner.
The tattoos. Oh my! Like, I thought it was a brilliant idea to like
Shakespeare quotes on your body.
Yes.
He like literally has a Shakespeare quote here, and at one point he just shows it to Juliet, and in that scene you're just like.
I read the 3 books back to back in 2 days. And it was like 3 in the morning. I haven't slept in 24 hours. I was like at that point of the story and I was just curling in my bed. How this amazing author could also bring in Shakespeare.
The love story with both of the guys is really intense. So you have these really intense physical moments because these boys are just the only people who can touch Juliet. And so she's all like, touch me!
He's extremely passionate about her. And that's something other characters may be missing.
Yeah. I mean, Kenji is.
Not just in this book.
Oh, right, yeah.
Other male leads are maybe missing.
I'm never gonna call him Aaron.
Oh, he's Aaron in my head.
No, because even Juliet doesn't call him really. It doesn't really call him Aaron.
She calls him Warner in her mind.
Yes,
yeah.
She calls him Warner in the mind, and because I'm in her mind, I call him Warner as well. And she calls him Aaron just to show him that she feels for him. Aaron. That's also confusing. Also, what kind of bitch father is that? Calling their kids Adam and Aaron?
Like, they are never gonna meet. They just call them like the same names.
Yes. That's also the best thing, like they're brothers, and I was just like, this is just getting weird.
And it was kind of a perfect ending.
Yes.
Because Warner had also, he just lost someone, but he gained two other families.
He gained a family.
Yeah, he gained a family. And not only for Warner it was a perfect ending, but overall, I think it was quite a utopian ending for a dystopian setting.
The ending was really, really well done, and I really liked it because it left you with a feeling of fulfillment. And what I find really interesting is that while you have these people who are made into leaders in the Hunger Games and in Divergent, you have this strong girl who comes from a very weak place, and she just grows stronger and stronger until she stands up and is like, I want to be the leader. I will lead this revolution now. And she's not pushed into it. She decides to do it.
She's kind of pushed by Warner.
Yes, but Warner just, like, I mean, he doesn't force her to do it. He just wants her to discover that she has the strength. Katniss, for example, is made the Mockingjay. They make her the symbol. And she isn't
actually a leader.
No, she's no leader figure. But still, she somehow becomes the leader figure. Juliet just decides on her own that she wants to be the leader. And the only thing that really bothers me about the ending is that I would really love to know how this whole plan of hers works out, because it's quite a mouthful.
She wants to write a second epilogue.
Yes, that would be really good. Yeah. They overthrew the reestablishment, but basically, as history tells us, one dictator is followed by another. I have a really bad feeling that this could go really, really wrong. I mean, she has the best intentions. I mean, Coin had the best intentions, and I'm pretty sure that Snow had good intentions too. But the problem is, you yourself believe your intentions are good. It doesn't mean that they are good for everyone.
But they're a group of leaders.
It's gonna be okay, I guess. And it's definitely gonna be a good step into the right direction. I'm just curious how that's gonna turn out. And I'm really curious how they're gonna pick up that mess and tidy it up.
And no major character died at the ending.
Only nameless characters died.
Yeah. I thought that maybe Kenji was going to die because there was something missing. Like,
what was missing?
No, just for me missing, like a major punch in your face at the end of the book, because they couldn't kill Warner.
Oh my god! I was in such a state at the end of the third book, where she was just like, where's Warner? Where's Warner? And I was like, no! You no!
My thoughts, seriously.
You won't!
But I thought someone was going to die.
But of all the books I've read, like, this in dystopian, novels, I think this was the most fulfilling last book. Yeah. It was a very good closure.
And I think that was a nice style of writing, because there's so much dialogue and it didn't seem boring.
What really confused me was the scene in the ship where Juliet just goes into the ship and then runs around crazily, and I'm just like, how did you lose Kenji?
Not only that, but it was extremely fast written, so that I couldn't actually follow it.
Yeah, I lost orientation at on the first page of that. But it was very nice. It was a very nice ending. I really liked it. And I really, really love this series in general, because the romance in this book is so real. When you read it, you fall in love with both of them. Yeah,
not with Adam.
At the beginning, yes. If you don't know how it's going to end, you fall in love with Adam as well. In the third book, when he finds out that Juliet is still alive and she turns up with Warner at his doorstep, he just goes completely crazy. Starts yelling at her and is like, what about our relationship? Is that not enough anymore for you? And I was just thinking, oh my god, shut up. You're patronizing her. I would punch you in the face.
And she already broke up with him at that point.
And there was no relationship.
I think it was interesting to see how they are actually two major love interests. At the beginning of the book, she's with Adam and fits her perfectly for her personality back then. But then she develops. And
as Warner said, or as I think Juliet says it, Adam was in love with the person he thought Juliet is. He is that kind of guy who wants a pretty girl to stand at his side and just smile courteously and just be...
And he can protect her.
He wants a damsel in distress, basically. And Juliet is not a damsel in distress. She's basically
not anymore.
No, she's the hero.
Yeah.
She turns out to be the hero, and he turns out to be the damsel in distress. But one point that really annoyed me about Adam was that when he's back in his flat, and after Omega Point was destroyed, he's all like, yeah, I want to settle down, I give up, I want to have a quiet life, and Juliet is just like, no, we're gonna fight. And I've heard people saying that they can understand Adam, and yes, I can understand it.
Yeah, of course.
But I would never give up.
Especially not if you have this power
Yes.
to fight.
I mean, they destroyed Omega Point, they destroyed this whole thing. That would make me more furious, and that would just make me want to destroy them even more, and Adam just gives up, and that was the point where I said, nope, I don't like you anymore. Can we just talk about how they mirror District 13?
Yeah. Not only with Omega Point, but also after it is destroyed.
Yes.
It just reminds me of like District 12.
The
destruction of District 12
is gone.
Yes.
There is no Omega Point anymore. And it was just like, Hunger Games! Read that one before. When I thought back about it, and because of the District 13, District 12 with Omega Point relation, I thought about comparing Juliet and Katniss, and it's really interesting because if you look at them, you can like, they are opposite parallels. Because the point where Juliet is at in the beginning is the point Katniss ends up to be. While Katniss like is really strong in the beginning, is just really badass, but she just becomes weaker and weaker and weaker, and everything that happens to her just gets thrown at her, and her brain breaks and she can't stand the pressure. Juliet ends up broken. It just puts herself together again, and then becomes the strong, powerful character. Now all that's left is talking about this, which is Unite Me, and this is the two novellas in like one book. It's Destroy Me and Fracture Me.
and also Juliet's journal.
Yes, and also that was really, really unnecessary.
Yeah.
Apart from like 2 days, everything is in the books, so.
But Destroy Me is set between the first 2 books, and Fracture Me is set between the Unravel Me and Ignite Me.
So the second and third.
Yes.
The first one is from Warner's perspective, and the second one is from
Adams.
I read the novellas, and I can't even remember Adams. I don't really remember Warner's either. If you read it between the first and the second book, it definitely spoils you a little bit for the second book, because a lot of the revelations that are made in here are already in there, because you only get a real look into his character in the second book.
So don't read this before
Reading
finishing
the
the
series.
series. I'd like to see some scenes in the third book from Warner's perspective.
I think we're done though.
Yeah?
Do you have anything more to say? Because I don't
know.
think I had more to say when I was finished with the book, like, immediately.
Ja, wir hätten es direkt danach machen sollen.
Yeah. We're gonna do that when you read the Maze Runner series. We're gonna talk about the Maze Runner
And
series.
after you read the first...
The Throne of Glass.
The first 3 books in the Throne of Glass series.
Yes, and we can do that about the City of Bones.
And I want you to read...
Hexology.
I want you to read the Bone season.
So that's basically everything that comes to our mind right now. Please leave your comments about the series in the section for the
In the flap.
comment leaving thing. No, not in the flap. The flap is the thing where I put
Oh,
the
the flap's
links.
a doobly-doo.
Leave whatever you think about the series in the comment section, and I will answer you, and Carmen will also answer you. And I'm gonna put her link on her face now, and
Why?
because
There's nothing on that channel.
I don't know, but if you want to see her channel, that's her face.
There may be something like up there in a few months.
There's gonna be a Taylor Swift book tag. So that was that for this video. I hope you enjoyed this sweet little discussion with a lot of spoilers. I'm just going to put the last discussion video Ellie and I did about the Fault in the Stars book 2 movie adaptation on her face. And I'm gonna do whatever video I choose to put on my face. So click the screen. Now we're just gonna sit here and have our heads are now colored squares.
Okay. Will you
That's-
color them?
Yes.
Okay.
What color do you want yours to be?
Tallest blue.
That's gonna be hard. Mine's gonna be green.
Okay.
That's gonna clash with the background.
Then I want a pink one.
Okay, pink and green. I'm gonna change the color at that point.